What are some of the sensations you get when you are initially?
When you're disconnecting, yes. I was mentioning this one of the vibration. This one is very common. But others that people describe and that you feel when you're having out-of-body experiences, and actually it's good for people to know, because if they feel them in the middle of the night, hopefully they won't be too scared or too surprised, but on the contrary, enjoy it and keep on going. So for example, sometimes people describe that they are sort of dreaming, or at least feeling like they are falling, you know, into like emptiness, and then they wake up with a little bit of a jerk, with a little jump. That is typical of, you know, starting to disconnect and being there in that transitional phase. Sometimes also we hear these sounds around our head, you know, like they can be very loud, like sometimes like an engine, or like I don't know, like a jet plane, you know, in our ear, like a zzz, very loud, or they can be very dry sounds like a tack, tack, crack. We think that we woke up the entire neighborhood, but not even the person next to us, you know, heard them. They're actually only happening inside of us. Sometimes also we feel the sensation of growing big. It's called balloonment, as if we are a balloon that is being inflated, or we actually can even feel like we're becoming smaller. Sometimes we feel very light, very like we are part of the air, and even we feel this undulation on top of our body, or that only one arm, for example, has disconnected, or one leg has disconnected. So all of these are sensations of leaving the body. And another one, by the way, important for me to talk about this one, is this sensation that many times people feel that surprises them and scares them, and this is why it's important, where they wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, and they feel that they cannot move their physical body, the sleep paralysis. Usually that happens because we are more disconnected than connected. If we let it go, if we relax, in a matter of 10, 20 seconds, we come back into the body, and now we can use the physical body and move. I know that those 10, 20 seconds for most people usually surprises them, scares them. We feel like a century went by, you know, and nobody helped us. But really, at the end of the day, it's just like 20 seconds or so. But that condition, if we're able to stay relaxed and calm, is actually the easier state from which to have an out-of-body experience. Instead of fighting to come back into what we know and into the control of the physical body, what we can do at that moment, and what I would suggest to everybody watching, is to try to roll outside the body at that moment. If you think about rolling, you know, like when we are in bed and we want to roll onto one shoulder, if you think about rolling at that moment, stay relaxed and roll. Normally you're going to end up in an out-of-body experience because we are much more out than in. So that one also, it's important to understand it as, you know, a sensation of transition and not a negative thing. So we can take advantage of it instead of becoming too afraid, you know, of that moment.
Yeah, I remember once I did not have the out-of-body experience, but I was about to, and I got very.
To you, yeah.
I got very scared.
Yes.
I got back into my body. It was very scary for me.
You know, it's a very understandable reaction that to be scared, because it's something so different from what we are used to. You see there the power of conditioning, right? We're very used to this body. We're very used to the weight of this body. We even start to feel a little bad if we gain a little bit of weight, you know, beyond our normal. So we're very used to our body. So the moment that we start to be in a different condition from it, then yeah, it surprises us, it scares us. We don't really know, you know, how to interpret that. And on top of that, of course, we are feeling that, and most people have not heard about out-of-body experiences, so they think, what is happening? You know, this is scary sometimes. It doesn't have to be. Let me say it doesn't have to be. You're not going crazy if you have this.
And one other experience I had was, it was more like a semi-dream experience, where I felt like I was out of body, but I was able to go through the walls.
Yes.
And there were some sounds which were which were very different from, like, it was almost like binaural beats kind of.
But was it like a machine, like a zzz, or was it like a ping, ding? I don't know.
It was somewhere in between, but it felt like it's coming from a different direction than your regular sounds you hear.
Yes.
And I was not able to see myself out of body. It was more like a dream where
Yes.
you go. I don't know. Would that count as out of body experience?
It could be. It's very hard for somebody else to say, if the person had an out-of-body experience, but it sounds like it was, but because of what you're telling me. Now, what happens many times is that there are a few things to the out-of-body experience. One is the process of coming out, of course, and that's why we're talking about the sensations and the technique to come out. But the other thing is, once we are outside the body, the level of awareness can vary. Sometimes we can be at a level of awareness that is exactly the one we have right now, so we are very clear, we are very sharp, we remember what we ate for breakfast this morning, we remember our Facebook password, for example. And at other moments, we are outside the body at a level of awareness that is more equivalent to when we are dreaming.
Yes.
And then, for example, yes, when we are dreaming, we don't remember our Facebook password. We don't remember our phone number. So we are outside the body, but our level of awareness is not as high. And really, this is actually the main key towards the out-of-body experiences. Not so much the leaving the body, that is actually not that difficult, but it's more the recovering the awareness once we are out. Because in that, we recover easier also by doing this motion of the velo that I was mentioning. So at that moment, and people who are watching us, if you happen to be in a lucid dream or in an experience in which you're not sure whether it's an OBE or out-of-body experience or a dream, try at that moment, think at that moment to start running your energies up and down. Normally, because we are disconnected from the body, running the energies up and down is easier. Doing the velo is easier. There is less friction from the body, less friction, it stops us less. So this is more effective and we increase our awareness quickly. So this is, by the way, another way of having out-of-body experiences. We are in the middle of a lucid dream. And if we give the command at that moment, let me start moving my energies up and down, the images usually fade away of the dream and you end up, in your bedroom or close to a wall or already outside your apartment, but now you're clear, you are aware. So it's very common for people to have those experiences in which is in between the dream and the real OBE. Very common.